All right, Coach, it was Dallas ACU's first game back from a concussion. Seemed to struggle just a little bit. What did you see from him today?
I saw a little bit of inconsistency, in the first half. I think defensively they were getting after us a little bit in the first half, but there were some missed throws. Sometimes a missed throw is not necessarily a bad, means it's a bad throw by the quarterback. I know a couple of times we had depth issues where our receivers ran too deep on a route that certainly puts the quarterback in a bind as far as his timing, and that happened a couple of times in the first half. Second half, I thought he threw some strikes, and we had in the third quarter we had the fumble after a hitch, which really hurt us, and then we had another drop pass. We had several drops today that would have made the difference in the game, I don't think, but it sure helps your production, sure helps your quarterback.
Defense came out early on and got a fourth down stop and got 2 turnovers in that first quarter. What were they doing? What were y'all doing in that first quarter, and then how did Sam Houston adjust for the rest of the game?
Well, I don't know that they adjusted. Just during the game, guys are going to make plays on both sides, and I think that's what happened. I thought it was awesome. They get down inside our 5 and get down to the 1 even, and we stone them on fourth and 1. That's awesome. So, and then the turnovers, the picks, and we should have had several more, and they ended up being touchdowns. You may see that once in a season. A sure interception, you basically tip it up to them and they run in. We saw it 2 times in the first half, so that was unfortunate. But our guys are in the right spots, and we're not making plays consistently enough. And certainly when it turns into a touchdown for the other team, that's a negative.
You mentioned those 2 tip plays that they had. How does that kind of kill your momentum, and especially with the way this season's going, doesn't it? Is that just kind of a hit?
It seems to fit right in sometimes with how things have gone. But you know what? It's still it's 7 points and it's a big play. How it happens is very unfortunate. But you know what? Our guys are going to line up and play the next play. You saw them down all the way to the end of the game. Our guys are going to play, and again, we just need to play more clean than we do. Sometimes it looks really good out there, and then sometimes it doesn't. And I'm getting tired of saying that. Our guys have got to respond, and our coaches have got to respond, and just so we can play more consistently.
Last thing for me, what's the message going into homecoming next weekend?
Well, whether it's homecoming or not, we got 4 winnable games. If we play well for the next 4 games, we'll have a great shot to win. And so the next game just happens to be at home, and it just happens to be homecoming, and it happens to be Incarnate Word. So it doesn't matter if we're playing the Dallas Cowboys. You better play more consistently if you want to win. And but the fact is, if we line up and play well for 4 quarters, I don't know what can happen. I don't know what we'll look like. We may look like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know, but I'm sure ready to see that. And I think we're getting closer and closer. These young guys are still making mistakes. There are things in the game you just kind of shake your head still and say these guys are still kind of young. And but it's time to be over that. It has been time to be over that. So we'll put a little pressure on them this week and love on them too. But we'll get them right, and we'll be ready next week.
Good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank
you
you.